May be seated. Yesterday was the 5th anniversary of the largest massacre of Jews on U.S. soil in American history, the 5th anniversary of the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh. One might imagine that our attention as a Jewish community would be in observance of that horrific occasion, to focus on the memory of the 11 who were murdered that morning, that Shabbat morning, and to focus on the state of anti-Semitism and hatred in general in our country. Perhaps we could have even dreamed that today would mark how in these 5 years there have been a change. There's been a change in our country, a change in attitude towards the other, a change positively for understanding that we all have the spark of God in us, all of creation does, and all humanity deserves respect, love, and peace. But not only have we seen over the past 5 years a marked increase in reported anti-Semitic incidents. As I said, over the high holidays, just last year was the most anti-Semitic incidents reported ever for the ADL's collection of that data since 1979. So anti-Semitism is getting worse in this country, as well as is hatred and racism and discrimination in general is on rapid increase. But tragically, for the memory of the 11 at Tree of Life, that has been neglected because of the ongoing war in Gaza. 22 days ago, the war began, 3 weeks ago today, and since that time, it's clear that anti-Semitic incidents just since October 7th, the ADL reported an over 380% increase of reported anti-Semitic incidents in America just in the past 3 weeks. That is represented in how the media is covering the war. So this is not a commentary about the media, it is a commentary about the state of our society and what it means to be Jewish today. It is baffling to me why, when the Israeli army spokesperson gives a detailed press conference yesterday to Western reporters and press, detailing quite specifically and without a shadow of a doubt that Hamas is using the biggest hospital in Gaza, the basement of that hospital, as its command center, risking the lives of all the people in that hospital. The tunnels in Gaza stem from the basement of that hospital. And have you seen anything in the newspaper about that? No. We have to look at Times of Israel, the website that I go to for news about Israel in English from Israel. It's all over that website, and not a peep in Western media about that. That highlights to me the grave problem that we face as Jews in the world. And I've been thinking about this the past few days, that I've never felt this frightened about my place as a Jew in America and my place as a Jew in the world than I have these past couple of weeks, and especially this past week, when the mounting evidence of Hamas monstrosity and barbarity is clear, and the world chooses to ignore it, and the United Nations chooses instead to vote overwhelmingly in sympathy for Palestinian children, and ignoring the brutality of the 1,300 Israelis who were butchered and more unspeakable things done to them. The United Nations choosing to ignore that completely. So I haven't been more afraid than I have before about Israel's existence and my place as a Jew in the world, and what kind of future that we have. And so this morning's Torah portion, as I said with the Haftarah, Isaiah tries to provide comfort and inspiration to a community of Israel in exile, trying to come to terms with the promise in this morning's Torah portion. And so how do Abraham and Sarah have the strength to move on? Because God commanded them to get up from their country that they were living in and go to this unknown land, to face the unknown in the future. And they did so because they had clear evidence of God's existence, and they heard God's voice. I must say that I'm not sure that there is clear evidence of God's existence. That's what I've been feeling because of what happened and what is happening in Israel. So there's, on the one hand, if we knew Israel had good friends, and that the values for which it stands are reinforced in the West, then perhaps I would feel a little bit better, and I would have comfort in knowing that I'm not alone in this existential struggle. But Israel is alone and relies on us, the Jewish community of America, the Jewish community of the world, to support it and to try to fight against this tide of anti-Semitism that is quite evident and has been on display for the past 3 weeks. So there's that, the feeling of frustration, the feeling of isolation, this feeling of loneliness that I feel, and then and also then if we try to look for strength in community, we try to find presence of God as well. And it's harder to find evidence of God's presence when it seems like everything is going against us. This is in our own personal lives. If we're facing personal tragedy or struggle, it's so hard to find evidence of God's existence. How much more so as a community of Israel, trying to see evidence of God when we are bombarded, when we are alone. So I want to share this poem that perhaps will provide some sense of comfort and some sense of inspiration. It worked a little bit for me yesterday when I read it. If you read Daniel Gordis's daily email now, Inside Israel, he had this poem there. He didn't say on the email who wrote it. It was posted on Facebook, and it said there, and he said he translated it into English. It was posted in Hebrew on the Facebook page of the woman who wrote it, Tamara Leah Baz. So she wrote, she's pregnant. 8th month, my little boy. This is not how I thought it would look. I imagined us in nature and streams, that your coming birth would fill our lives. I apologize, I'm sorry. We were wrapped in excitement and comfort, anticipating your arrival, arranging, dreaming, nesting. I didn't imagine that pastoral image, little boy, would be replaced by sirens, missiles, and shelters, by sorrow that has spread like a blanket over the days and nights, endless concern for family and loved ones, and an earth that trembles from its encounter with a brutal evil that we didn't want to believe existed. My womb hurts from the horrors, my little boy. Do you feel it too? I'm trying to take a deep breath for you. You must rest, let go. But how do you let go of grief? Explain to me when children are dying every day and children of another mother are in the hands of animals. This week I asked you, my little boy, if you are sure this is where you want to come, to this world, to this earth. I told you that you have time to change your mind, and I will completely understand you, and I will have no complaints. And then I felt you. You smiled at me, and you explained it to me well, that you do know where you have chosen to come, that you have no misgivings, that there is no mistake in the address you're coming to this land. I understood at that moment, my brave soul, whatever you need from me, it's not inventing a perfect world for you, nor a womb that does not shrink in the face of horrors, or a body and heart that are not overwhelmed by sorrow, anger, and pain. You need me to trust you and me, you need me to trust you and me, that you know where you are coming, and that it won't always be easy here. That you have insight, a plan, and intent, that my role in your life is to be by your side, but to let you experience and not to push humanity into a corner, which includes sorrow, pain, disappointment, and oversight. So I promise you today and always, my child, not that when you grow up there won't be more wars, only that I will always be here for you to embrace, contain, soften, and nurse, and to pour love and light into every crack and fracture. When you're in pain, when the tears come, when reality tempts you to get tough, and your senses will seek to submit and become numb, Mom is here with you all the way. And in whatever path you choose to walk, this world isn't perfect, child, and neither are we. And I can't really guarantee you that we will succeed in creating a different, better reality here. But I promise you with all my heart that we will never stop trying. We continue with Musaf. We rise for Chatzi Kaddish 184 and Lech.